Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and this is Frostpunk 2, or the beta for it at least. So it's available now, but just for a few days actually. To be honest, by the time this is going out, probably just available for another day or so. And basically there's a preview of the Utopia builder that you can play. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into that and play this preview. It's only like about 300 weeks or something. Anyway, I've played it once. Yeah, 300 weeks. I've played it once. It's damn difficult, and we'll get straight into it. There's only one you can play. There's multiple maps: Windswept Peaks, Broken Shore, Fractured Gorge, Horizon. We can't play any of them, so we can only play Windswept Peaks. And then we've got different communities or factions or something like that is what they call it. Machinists and foragers is what we can play. Workers and merchants, we can't. Lords and thinkers, interesting. And then just random, so I'm guessing any one of those three. But anyway, we can only play the machinists and foragers, and then we can kind of make it harder and extreme. Ooh, we can't do extreme. We can play easy, we can play medium, and we can play hard. I'm just going to go with medium. It's pretty hard. and obviously it takes a bit of time to get used to. So let's jump straight into it. Plan ahead and don't hesitate to pause and think. There's many ways to address any problem, but once becomes severe, they will be punishing, and that is very true. It looks pretty good, actually. The game looks pretty good. It's work in progress, obviously. It's probably going to be very different. Well, not very different, but somewhat different when it actually arrives in July. The end of the world changes people. It changed us. The foragers, natural survivalists, adapted to harsh frostland conditions. The machinists, descendants of groups that built the initial cities and maintained their machinery. We chose you as our steward to lead the city as overpopulation looms and the resources dwindle. We all dream of a better future. What it should look like, this we can't agree on. Tensions stir and radicals rear their heads. Navigating this will be your ultimate challenge. This preview is 300 weeks. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see this. Okay, here's a bit of a cutscene. The Windswept Peaks colonize the Frostland. Oh, I don't actually think it's a cutscene. It's just kind of a cutscene into the city. So this is the city. The game is... Okay, hang on. Let's just have a look. Coal is running out. We have grown numerous over the years and waited too long to strike out. Our coal stockpiles are nearly depleted. We have to colonize the Frostland, but first we located some coal deposits in rough terrain around the city. We must send frost-breaking crews to access them. We need more coal. Let me pause it there for a second, and we'll quickly jump into what we can see over here. The game is very different, in my opinion, from the first Frostpunk, in the sense that now we're actually working with rates. We've got a workforce. In the first one, we used individual people. So we had a population. Now it's more of like a workforce, so a significant population. You can see we've got a population of 8,000 people with a workforce of 4,800. So we need workers to work various things. We don't just build buildings, we build districts. So as you can see, it's a very different kind of scale to what it was last time. Here you can see kind of to the edge is what we've got. So this is our frost broken area. We can build into that straight away. You can see we've got a frozen forest in here, which gives us materials. And then over there, we've got a coal deposit, but that's in frozen ground. So what we need to do is frost break that area. So if we click the frost break here, you can see we can start frost breaking in that area, and we do need to make our way to the coal deposit. Now, districts take up some of these little hexagons. But anyway, so let's go and break into that area there. So we're starting to frost break that area, so we can start to kind of build that. Okay, so that's one of the concepts. Then we have heat, which is surplus or not. It's slightly different. It doesn't have that radiating effect where you've got more heat closer to the generator and less heat further away. Everybody seems to be heated pretty equally. But we have a surplus of heat, which obviously we can't store. And then we've got housing and we've got food as a surplus. So all of these things are rates, right? Well, apart from housing, I'm thinking is not really a thing. We've got materials, which we don't have at the moment. Well, we've got a bit of a stockpile, so we do need to go and get some more materials over here. We need to get coal. We've got a stockpile, but we're not actually generating any. The generator is taking about 70 per day, but we're not actually getting any. So we've got about 20 weeks worth of coal, and then it's done. And we've got some guard squads over here, which I haven't really dealt with that a lot, but it seems to be able to quell unrest and things like that. We also have heat stamps. Your population would generate heat stamps for you, which is kind of like the currency for the game. Everything takes heat stamps. So from our population, we get 11 heat stamps and per week, and that we use to do things. Cores, again, very similar to last time. I think some of the more advanced buildings need cores. And as per usual, after in 60 weeks, I believe we'll start seeing some colder weather, and then in 90 weeks, a little bit more colder. At the moment, it's pretty calm. Okay. Now, there's all kinds of tutorial things that pops up in here. I'm not going to read all of them. I am pretty familiar with them. Mark all of them as read. Well, I've read them all at least once. So I'm going to try and talk our way through that. At the moment, we've got, and down here, we've got the tension. So tension is marginally increased by minor cold. Okay. At the moment, this thing kind of fills up if there's a lot of tension. People are, we're tolerated at the moment. We've got 51% of people in the machinists group, and 49% in the foragers group, and they're all neutral with me at the moment. If you click on them, they believe we need to adapt to things. We can fund projects and so on. So look at that, heat stamps already to increase relations with them. And they effectively, we can request funds from them also, which decreases relationships. So basically either that way or that way. On this side, same thing over here. Technology progress is the way to survival. So basically this changes over time based on your decisions and things like that. We've got, which you can't see it. Oh yeah. So here we've got districts. So now we can, because we've got a housing shortage, I may go ahead and build a housing district straight away. If we build it close to another housing district or the center, we basically, it generates a little bit of its own heat, and that helps us out in terms of what it's going to cost us. So let's start by building it over here. You see, you need to kind of, in that little circle there, it says you need to select a number of locations. So we needed 6 of them. So we've got 4, we need 2 more. And I think more than half of them need to be there. So if we do that, now that we're building our very first housing district. So let's do that. So we need to access a coal deposit, which we're doing over here. And we need to build an extraction district to give us access to that coal. So let's make a start on these things. As you can see, we're short on housing, which we're trying to address over here. We have a surplus of food. How do we have a surplus of food at the moment? But we're eating from the stockpile, right? Where would our food come from? I'm not too sure. If I pause it for a second, let's have a quick look. This only does stuff. It doesn't actually do. I'm just going to ignore these messages, to be honest. So I don't know where our food is coming from, actually. Available is 160. Here we've got available coal of 0. So where does our food come from? Do we have like a base? Oh, here we go. Output 20 from the central district and 140 from the stockpile per day. What stockpile? I don't know. We have a stockpile of like 30,000. Okay, fine. So this district basically generates about 20 a day. Okay, so let's keep moving. We're going to frost break through here. We're going to get our extraction district up and running. And our housing district is busy happening. Again, lots of stuff and events happen. Let's speed things along a little bit because these things need to be built. Okay, frost breaking has been done over here. So I'll pause it every now and again. Now we need an extraction district. So we'll go and grab it over here. I think we need to see, again, we're filling up the circle in terms of the number. So there we go. We've got our first extraction district starting over here. So let's unpause and continue that journey. We do need to get our coal up and running before we run out. So that's basically what we're busy doing, and our housing district is being built at the same time. Okay, now that our first housing district is done, that gives us still not quite a surplus of this now of housing. So here, okay, so people actually work in this housing district here. So from our workforce, you can see the extraction district. It's under construction, I believe. So, but now it's got a total of 20 housing and it's got a heat demand of 35. It's -5 due to proximity to the generator, so that's good. Now, what you can do is you can expand these districts and then build additional district buildings. So let's pop out. So we've got districts on the one hand, including housing districts, food districts, extraction districts, and industrial districts. And there's other stuff later that you can research. Hubs is like, okay, transport hubs. So that helps us help with our workforce a little bit. So you can see the impacts there. Proximity to workforce requirement in neighboring district is decreased. And then we've got buildings that goes into the various districts. So in a housing district, we can put a food depot, so we can basically store a lot more food. In a food district, we can also put a food depot. In an extraction district, we can also put a food depot. So apparently we can put a food depot. Oh, we can actually do all of these different ones. We should definitely do a little bit of that. And then, so at the moment, we only have the depot piece done over there. But I do think, hang on, isn't there a... Anyway, let's get that built first. I think there's a little bit of... because we should do research, but I think we probably need to build this one first before they activate, and let us do that. Let's just get that built. If I expand this, right? It allows us to build a building. So let's go ahead and expand it. Let's just do that, see what that actually does for us. Let's expand that district. Good, secured new housing. We secured a new source of coal for the generator, but we need shelter. Without it, people will freeze to death regardless of how hot the generator runs. The closer to the generator, we cannot afford to lose more heat than we have to. Okay, we will provide shelter. So construct a housing district, we've done it. We've done an optional quest thing here. Okay, so we've got this running, and this is now generating a little bit of a stockpile for us. So we need to keep an eye on that, and we might want to. So at the moment, it's currently taking. At this rate, we've got about 532 weeks of coal, and we're using 600 workers to do it, and it's outputting 120, and it's demanding materials, which we are actually running through our materials over there. So I think let's get the frost breaker going, and let's access this area in a little bit more. Let's frost break over here a little bit more. We're expanding the housing district. Hopefully that helps us out a little bit. I do wonder if that gives us more housing. Scraping the barrel. With heat from the generator and shelter for everyone, we're safe from the cold for now. But as the city grows, it will not be enough. The machinists and the foragers have different opinions on how to improve the city further. We need to place a place to develop ideas for the future, expand the housing district, provide more space for advanced buildings, and a research institute. So there we go. So we've got the expanded one. We do need to put in the research district. But now we see our very first things popping up, basically. Security for the future steward. We are extracting more coal than we currently need to provide adequate heat for the city. As such, we need to begin to stockpile the surplus. At the moment, we have ample storage space left. However, this space will eventually be filled, and any additional coal will be left out in the elements, rendering it worthless. If we do not wish to lose the surplus, we need to build more depots. Okay, so we'll do that as well. Okay, so we need to build a research institute, which we can do over here now. So we'll make a start on that. All of this stuff costs us these heat stamps. And we're frostbaking over here. We do need to kind of run a little bit more of a district in here. Now, basically, yeah, that's what we're doing, right? So that's under construction. Now, districts-wise, we need another extraction district over here. I do wonder if we can kind of link them together. Let's try and do that over here. How much housing? We're still a little bit short on the housing, so we might do another one just to make sure everybody has a place to stay. Oh, we're spending more. We're taking 5 from the stockpile at the moment because the generator, because everything you do requires additional heat, right? That's basically what happens. What's happening over here? Okay, different ideas. Okay, a small crowd gathers outside the new research institute, arguing how to exploit the lost coal veins. The machinist wants us to learn on machine-powered mining, but the foragers would have us pursue a more frugal solution. They would never display such discord in the captain's heyday. You have to choose who to entrust with developing their idea. The communities of the city have different perspectives. You may not be able to please everyone. Show me our options. So now we're going to the idea tree, which is basically research. And different communities may propose diverging answers to the same issue. They will only pursue solutions that align with their worldview. Choosing a community to develop an idea will improve relations with that community. Okay, so let's have a look. So here we've got a number of different things we can actually research. It's a little bit of a web of things we can research. Let's just see, are we paused? Let's just pause it while we go back in here. So we've got survival. So a lot of various ideas to research around survival. And here you can see, actually, it gives us a little bit of an indication. Well, extractor, worker, obsolescence. Oh, we can't do that one. There's some stuff related to coal over here, I think. So we might grow into this direction, sawmills and coal. Here's some stuff around materials and some goods. And this is heating. Excellent. So we've kind of, and this is exploration, and this is food, and this is squalor. And so all kinds of interesting things. Efficiency and fuel and adaptation and all kinds of stuff. We also have economy, which helps us with a variety of different things. Housing blocks, don't have that. Rail hubs and things. And we have society as well, hospitals, watchtowers, all kinds of stuff that we need to explore. Now, at the first instance, we need to kind of get our coal up and running a little bit better. So now, here you can see, we can get a dust coal mine. Requires extraction district within the coal deposit. That's fine. Mining operation where residue coal dust is sucked up and compressed into briquettes to make a maximum use of the resource. 400 workforce is required. It outputs 150 coal, which is good. It increases the disease a little bit, and it uses 20 materials. Okay. The other option is we can use what the machinists are saying. They want a grinding coal mine. This operation using grinding machines to churn through coal seems quickly, leaving heaps of slag behind. Okay, so this uses, I think, less workers. 100 less workers. It outputs more coal. It increases squalor, and it uses way more materials. Now, I kind of like the idea of getting that output higher, but I don't think we need that output as high as this. And the materials, on the other hand, we're still struggling with. So maybe this is the one to go with for now. It's also slightly increasing disease as opposed to increasing squalor. So let's go with the foragers and see this idea again. 50 heat stamps. So let's make a start on that. So we're backing the foragers for the first one. Okay, so now we need to research coal mines and then construct a new research building in the extraction district. Again, we've got the room for an empty building in here. So that will hopefully help us out a little bit. Materials are growing because of this thing that we've got here now. But what we're not having at the moment is we don't have enough goods. So let's see if we can't do something about the goods side of things. Industrial district. This will allow us to actually create goods. How much is our deficit? About 26 at the moment. So we definitely need something like this. If we bring it nice and close to this, we will need 50 less workers. So let's kind of intertwine it over here. Okay, so we're building an industrial district there as well. So we can try and solve this issue we've got over here. Hopefully that will... Then we've got everything kind of in surplus, and hopefully our tensions and stuff won't be too bad. Marginally increased by minor crime. So here we can see we've got different things. So coal, at the moment, and this is the situation that we're seeing. So at the moment, we've got, let's pause it for a second. We've got slightly increased cold due to absent shelters for a couple of people. Hunger is absent and the condition is stable. Again, this cold condition is also stable, but it is slightly increased by lack of shelter. Squalor is absent and stable. Disease is absent and stable. And then crime is minor and stable, and it's extremely increased by goods scarcity, decreased by guard squads. So if we want more guard squads, we can sort that out. But I think we'll just try and address the shortage through this industrial district and see if that helps our crime situation out. So again, we want to balance all of this stuff just like kind of you wanted to do in previous versions. Demands and the requirements, we'll just close that out. Thank you. Leave that out there. Our research is shown here and underway at the moment, so we'll get that done, and then hopefully we'll increase our supply of coal or our surplus of coal. What? Why is coal not happening? Our total output is 120. So yeah. Okay, no, that is fine. That is making sense. Okay, now we've got this guy going. So here we've got an extra total output of 20. So now we've got a shortage of 6, which hopefully is going to slightly increase by goods scarcity. Okay, so that's and it's diminishing at the moment. Excellent. Crime is absent, diminishing, so that's good. So I think we're pretty good. We want to keep an eye on these things and make sure we keep them nice and close together. I don't think we've got any buildings that can go into the industrial district apart from potentially some additional. We've got open spots all the way over here, but we're going to put some mines and things in there. But we do need some room for some depots, for instance. I think we might go and get an extra housing district while we're at it. So let's go and expand our housing over here. You don't want to put it in there because it's going to generate some squalor. So we'll need to put a little buffer in there. So that'll help us out with heating, and we'll get our housing sorted out, and we can then build some additional stuff in there as well. So proximity gives us benefits and disadvantages at the same time. So we just need to keep an eye on that. But at least our research is kind of getting there, almost done with our research. Hopefully we can then research something to improve our goods production. That would help us out a little bit over here, I think, so that we can get these things a little bit more stable. The dust coal mine is ready. So now assigned research, so increases our relationships over there because it was their idea that we managed to go in the research, but not significantly so. Now that we've got that, we can actually go ahead and build this, so that we improve that extraction. Dust coal mine, it needs 80 heat stamps, which you can afford, and it needs a bit of a workforce, which we can afford as well. And that should sort out our situation over here. Now we've got enough housing, so everybody should have a house. We've got a material surplus, so we're stockpiling it. Oh, no, we're not. So we need more stuff over here in terms of material as well. I might frost break out here a little bit. Oh, we need to get over there as well. Actually, so let's do... So we need to head into that direction. So let's keep frost breaking into that direction also. Okay. A place to settle differences. With the new mine, we have enough coal output to last us a while. Yet differences between the communities remain. Even under the previous leader, plans have existed to establish a council to settle such differences. More pressing problems always delay them. The time has come, Stuart. The people want a say in how the city run. And how the city is run. Okay, so we need a council. So build a council hall in the central district, and enact a new law through the successful vote in council. We'll leave that, we've got a little bit of time, so we'll leave that a little bit until we kind of manage these kind of starting things. Okay, so what are we looking for is a goods factory, I think, because we want to, not available in this preview. Okay, so let's go here and have a look. So we went with the foragers on the mine, but they are asking for a refurbishing goods factory. which gives us 30 goods output for 40 materials. It disease is slightly increased and 20 heat demand. Okay, and then the machinist is asking for a calibrated goods factory, which gives us about the same, slightly increased squalor, 40 heat demand, which is a little bit higher than I would like. Its materials requirement is a little bit higher too. I might just go with them again, with the foragers yet again, because the heat demand is lower, the goods output is the same, and the materials requirement is lower, but the slightly higher workforce, which I think is okay. We'll just go with that. So that we can build something in there and get that last deficit that we've got sorted out. That's basically the plan. Sort out all of our deficits to make sure that things are okay. We do need to keep an eye on this workforce. We are currently not providing for any food. We've got some fertile ground over here where we can actually generate a little bit of food. So we need to have a bit of a look at that. In Central, we've got this guy. We should probably start looking at that as well. Got a little bit more time. If we look at a food district, on the other hand, we'll get, we do need to sort that out quickly. So a food district needs to be started over here. This will increase squalor, this will not. So let's head on over into this area, get a food district going. And we need to keep a firm eye on these things because they all will have a bit of a balance that we need to manage. Still neutral. Everybody's still neutral. We do need to build on other things. We just keep an eye on this. We're researching an idea here, a goods factory, so that we can sort out the last bit over there. And now we've got this happening, and it's providing for, well, at least we still need to expand that a little bit more. We still don't have quite enough. And our materials are starting to drain a little bit quicker now. So we do need to expand this as well. So there's a lot of stuff we need to do, basically. Okay, so we can enact policies, which is something that we'll have to have a look at. I think maybe that's a good spot to kind of end our first episode, guys. So if you've enjoyed this very first look at Frostpunk 2, please hit that like button. We'll play a few more episodes. We've got a bit more, a number of extra weeks that we can play. So we're about a sixth of our way through what we've got available to us at the moment. And we will, continue to play through those 300 weeks and see how we manage to kind of keep the tensions in check and so on. But I think we're off to a pretty reasonable start. So if you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content, and leave your comments down below. Did you play Frostpunk 1? Are you now also playing this beta? And are you excited to see, what are you excited to see most in Frostpunk 2? Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.